Wow, the last episode of 2019 is upon us. I just want to take a moment to thank you guys for all the support this past year, especially after Carl died. It meant the world to me. It meant way more than you'll ever know. And I thank you. And I hope you have a great new year. Make sure you stick around to the end of this episode trying something new. I did a YouTube live yesterday, and I got a little taste of that right at the end of this episode. I give you a couple thoughts on Don Imus and a great Howard Stern story from the old days. All right? Speaking of Don Imus, I want to start here by playing a quick clip. I was having lunch with Carl. It was around the time I got let go at SiriusXM, and I wanted to tell Carl the email that Don Imus sent me to support me after I got let go. It's really, really funny. Carl shines so bright in this clip. I think you'll enjoy it. So check it out. Next thing you know, I get an email from Imus. Say, hey, just let me know what I can do or whatever, right?
It's awesome.
So I write him a relatively short email, but with the basics of what happened.
You were like this, and then.
You go old school typewriter. And I might have mentioned Howard in there a little bit because I got amazing.
And then Howard, and then you would have let me in the hallway.
All of a sudden I get this email back. I swear to you, it said, back in the 80s at NBC, we caught Howard Stern picking his nose and eating it.
Shut the fuck up.
That's all he wrote after
That was it.
That's after I spilled my guts. About, I lost my job. This and that. And he goes, yeah, back in the 80s at NBC, we caught him picking his nose and eating it. And that was the whole email. Signed Imus. It's perfect.
There was nothing else in the email.
Nothing. I'm thinking, oh, well, hang in there, kid. You'll be okay. You know, all that horseshit.
Nothing.
That's all he said. Back in the 80s at NBC, we caught him picking his nose and eating it.
Oh, my God.
Mic is that? Oh, that's this one. Okay. I had to stop the podcast and put another mic in this thing for Sherrod. But anyway,
you look like you know what you're doing, though. Well,
I'm a one-man machine these days. I used to.
It really got it down.
Of course, I
used to have a whole crew doing that.
I finally have no one. I finally have no one to bother me. That's one of my mistakes that I allowed to have such a giant crew around me, and now I have just me.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
But you handle that.
I record it, I edit it, I promote it, I upload it.
Amazing.
But you had to get a scooter at Best Buy.
Yeah, I had to get my daughter. She wanted an electric scooter.
Oh, you want an electric scooter?
Yeah. Dude. She wanted us to go to school. She's going to take that to school every day. That's what she wanted.
Dude, I'm the hugest fan of the electric scooter.
Yeah.
And when I went down to Washington in April, I fell in love with the electric scooters because they're all about it down there.
Yeah, they are.
But people are getting fucking hurt.
I hope she don't get hurt. I got to get a helmet, too. But Jersey City, that's where she lives.
Yeah.
They already have like a shared scooter program.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Oh, wow. All right.
Like the
they
city
want
bikes here.
They want to do that in New York City so bad.
I think they will.
They did it in Washington, but people don't know how to use them because you're just a
I
tourist.
think Hoboken, too, has it.
You're a tourist and you download the app and 2 minutes later you're on this thing you've never ridden before.
Yeah.
They're flying into buildings and
It's
cars
dangerous.
and they're getting hurt.
Yeah, it's
but
dangerous.
we fell in love with it because it was the best way to see the memorials down there. And like the Washington Monument and the Lincoln thing.
It's a good way to get around.
Yeah, because down there, you could walk a mile between all that shit.
Yeah.
So the scooters were perfect.
They all look close, but they far away like a motherfucker. It's like casinos in Vegas.
Yeah. But, Oh, walking through a casino lobby? Oh, my God.
Because you see it, hey, it's right there. I can see it.
Oh, my God.
You walking for 9 days. That desert will get you.
Right. The sun never goes down. You just keep walking into the sun.
You can never walk from casino to casino,
How
man.
big do you need in your lobby? Oh, my God. Why am my calves sore? I haven't even checked in yet.
Oh, shit.
The fuck?
It's brutal.
Is that... Yeah, but anyway, so the electric scooters, I fell in love with them down in Washington, and then for Father's Day, my wife got me one.
Yeah.
Dude, I do errands all over the Upper West Side with that thing, man.
I got a Jetson. It's a nice one. It was expensive, but it's nice. It got the lights. It got the miles per hour on it.
Beautiful.
Oh, wow,
and the LED lights on the side.
Tell her to stay off the sidewalks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got a few people in the neighborhood looking for me. They're really mad.
Oh, yeah. They don't like when you use it on the sidewalk.
No, because
Unless you're a child.
Well, I'm a child because they'll go, hey, you can't ride that scooter on the sidewalk. And I go, are you a cop? And they're like, no. I'm like, dang, call one. I'm such a dick, and I'm the one that's in the wrong.
Shit.
But I'm the one in the wrong.
I'm always in the wrong and yelling at people.
Right.
They'll tell me to stop, not ride my bike through city. Like you can't ride it through the park, only on the bike trails.
Right, right.
So when I run it through the path, they're like, "There's not here." I'm like, "Beat it, Taurus."
Not on the bridle path.
Yeah, I was raised here. Fuck off.
Yeah, like it's sacred ground. I'm like, it's a stupid sidewalk with everyone's
That's it.
dog poo on it. Shut up.
It's dumb.
Go get a dumb pretzel. And take a picture of the Dakota. And leave me alone.
It's not the law. It's just a rule,
Right.
a suggested rule. I'm not gonna abide by it. Fuck off.
But the electric scooter is
I got a scooter and a phone, new phone.
Shit.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
But she get all A's. You can't say no to a good kid.
She's got all A's.
All A's. I'll show you that report card. It's ridiculous. It's just,
Wow.
but it's always like this. Yes.
All A's. What does she want to do when she grows up?
She's doing animation right now. That's what she's really into. That's why I have
the
to get
problem
her.
with these kids. My son wants to be a YouTuber.
But
they all want to be YouTubers.
She's drawing and doing her own productions of it. So
so she's already begun creating.
yeah. She's creating
beautiful,
a lot.
man.
She freehands it, then she takes it to a computer, and then she it's a whole thing.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm like,
man.
unbelievable. She can do it.
But
Good for her.
getting back to New Year's, though, I'm not one of those guys that say, I just want this year to end, because you never know what 2020 is going to give you.
Yeah,
Right.
it's gonna give us
That's
some of the same.
It might be just
It's
some
gonna
of
be
the
some
same
of the
shit.
same. Goddammit.
I'll be dead in 4 weeks.
Oh, come on, Vic. Vic, no. Make it 5.5.
Okay, 6.
Be here for the Super Bowl, will you?
6. Super Bowl. Okay, Super Bowl.
Who's winning the Super Bowl this year?
I'll tell you the Ravens.
Yeah, if your
My
money's
money's
on
for
it.
the Ravens.
Balls
Well,
on it.
everyone's saying that, man.
I'm going to go see how the Seahawks, maybe.
The Seahawks?
Maybe.
Oh.
I mean, Brady's starting to peak at the right
Can't
time.
count 'em
He
out.
finally had a good
Look
game.
at that report
Can't
card.
count 'em out.
Look at that report card.
Let me see.
Look what they wrote for at the bottom.
All right.
She's got kid, Vic.
C plus.
D minus minus. The fabulous D minus minus.
No, let
which
the-
they hardly give anymore.
Let the
She
record
was right.
show. There's
59 3/4.
4, 5. There's like 8 or no. There's like 10 classes, but she gets grades in about 8. They're all A pluses and like 2 A's.
Yeah.
Do you yell at her for the A's?
No, I beat her. Why waste my words? She apparently doesn't listen. But when you got a good kid, you got to buy him shit. If you got a bad kid, at least you can say no Christmas. And then you save a ton of money.
You can't tell a kid no Christmas.
Oh,
Yes,
my
you
nephew
can.
gets that all the time.
Yes, you fucking
Oh,
can.
my nephew had it last year.
Absolutely.
Your nephew had it
Yes.
no
Zero,
Christmas?
my sister said
Yes.
0 gifts, motherfucker.
Right.
How old?
He was 13.
Right.
That's in the wheelhouse. You can't
No,
do that.
it's called the Bridge of Life.
Thank you.
You can do that at 15 or 16, maybe.
No.
You can't
No.
say no
And
Christmas.
2 Christmases ago was the same thing. 0 gifts.
Zero.
He was acting a monkey in school. All that medication they put that boy on, he's still acting a monkey. Sure, I take half of those Adderalls, but
Sure, I take my share.
my share.
Selling them, making a little profit.
0 gifts.
0.
0.
That's a strong.
And I had to
move.
call her, and she
What a
was like,
great
"Don't
way
get
to
them
save
out."
money.
They didn't even put up a tree. We went over there like, we ain't staying over here for Christmas. Y'all niggas ain't got no Christmas. I ain't staying in this Muslim house. I need Santa, baby.
No tree.
No tree. That's how bad they were.
That's depressing.
You fuck
Sad.
up, no Christmas.
Sad.
But it's not helping because the kid's gotten 2 of these. You said, right?
Yeah, he had 2 Christmases with it. But he got right, then he got wrong, and then he got
Because
right.
I think that leaves a scar when you go no Christmas. I think
Well,
it
only
leaves
that
a
one
He had to
time.
play with his
well,
niece.
yeah, for that 1 year.
Yeah.
He had to
But
play
then
with my
fuck you,
daughter's
get your
gifts.
ass right for next Christmas.
Right.
You know how embarrassed you are when you got no gifts and you got to play with your cousin who's a girl's gifts the whole time? You playing with dolls because you don't got no PlayStation, and you can't even play with your toys from last year. He was on punishment.
I got a bag of oranges.
What's
I got a bag of oranges one year.
He was yapping in school.
I literally got a bag of oranges. My grandmother gave me a bag of oranges.
Oh yeah, I think you told me this.
I've told this, yeah.
Yeah, but your mom didn't do that.
No,
to you.
Gloria. No, Gloria was great.
Wait,
I know Vic got spoiled for her. He was the
I
youngest.
did.
Too.
I was the youngest.
The youngest, we
I
get
was like
spoiled.
him.
Yeah.
I got all the
but
good.
he had to raise himself.
But I was the first one with a bicycle.
Out of all of them?
Every bicycle my older two brothers had were built out of other parts from other bicycles that they found.
That's
in the
why he
gym.
was a running back champion. He had to run everywhere.
Fast, real
But
fast.
my bike was the first one where somebody went to a
The
Western
bike.
Auto.
That's hilarious.
Western Auto, the hardware store, and bought me a 10-speed Schwinn. They spent,
it was like you a
they spent
spoiled
$80. They spent $80, and you
That's a lot.
you would have thought they gave me a fucking Mercedes the way they treated me.
Sure.
And I believed it. I couldn't even believe it either. I didn't.
I remember my 10-speed
I was 27.
Very nice. Don't say sorry. I like that one. I remember like,
Cling, 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 cling. Yeah,
but it was
right.
kind of cruel when you got your 10-speed bike for Christmas. You know, in the Northeast.
Oh, yeah, when you get it, because you
Because you
ride it
couldn't-
that night. Oh, we rode it that night.
No, same with me. And then
Christmas.
you got depressed because now it's all like this salt from the roads
Yeah.
and dirt and
Yeah.
mud, and you're like, it was pristine and
So
and
clean.
clean.
Well, we had the sidewalks here in Brooklyn, so.
Right.
But right at like 6 in the morning,
Yeah,
we were
you're-
out there, still dark out,
Yeah.
riding our bikes in our pajamas.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Because you're not
That's
gonna
everybody.
And you-
No
That's the
matter where
move.
you're from. Oh shit! No matter where you're from. It's all right.
You're not gonna wait till spring.
No, I'm not
for
gonna
that
wait till
shit.
spring. I was out there in my footies and my big coat. Your mother like, put your coat on.
Yeah. We got bikes one year. You know, we were at that age, 12, 13, 14, around. No, probably around 12-ish, I guess. But there's three of us, and we're all within a year apart. And I remember we were peeking out the window because my parents needed time to get the presents over to the house. So
Right.
somehow they made an excuse that we had to stay in our room, and then they're hauling in everything from the garage to make believe Santa's coming, right? And me and my brothers, we were curious because we heard the front door opening and closing, and we lived on a busy highway.
Right.
We see my dad walking two brand new bikes from the neighbor's house across the street. They put them there
Right.
until Christmas.
Oh.
But my dad saw we were peeking.
Right.
So instead of it being a great moment, he marched upstairs and gave us a talking to.
You nosy bastards.
And then we had to awkwardly be happy
I
about
mean,
the bikes.
the next morning.
Then we got scolded for it because we peeked.
My mother used to let me open one gift every Christmas Eve because I
Same.
used to get nosebleeds from anticipation.
Yeah.
Really?
Honest to God, I used to bleed profusely. No, actual nosebleeds. So because I used to, I knew toys were in the living room downstairs.
Wow. I
couldn't be in the same house and not.
Yeah.
This was after I knew Santa ain't here. There ain't no Santa.
There's so
and the
many
toys
jokes
are in the
there.
building. And I just bled, and she's like, okay. I'm gonna first just let me play Donkey Kong on ColecoVision
Coleco
just to get me to
yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
My brother every year, my middle brother Mike every year would on Christmas he would campaign for that.
To get
Campaign
one.
for just open one. This went on. This went on for 9 years.
I had to bleed to get.
My mother would guilt him into. But every year, my mom didn't want to play. My older brother didn't want to play, and so he's in the middle.
Yeah.
So he's only going, come on. So every year she go, okay, well then you open one, but I'm not doing it. You can. And then my older brother going, well, I'm not doing it if she's not doing it. And then I'm falling in line as the baby going, I'm not doing it. So then every year he's like, fuck. So he would campaign for this, get the issue.
Right.
But then because we wouldn't do it, he couldn't do it
never
either.
did it.
He never did it.
That's
either.
awesome.
It's good
We
old
opened up-
Henley weird stuff.
We opened up all presents Christmas Eve. And I didn't
we only
understand
do
until
Christmas
years
Eve.
later. So, I'm one of 7, sometimes 8, sometimes 9 kids.
Sometimes.
Yeah, they had that
I think
sister
So,
today.
elaborate on that for him.
I've explained the
They
sometimes.
bought a sister off of eBay. They sent her back. They re-gifted her.
It was like Oprah. African babies under your seats for everybody.
Check
We
under
got
your
African
seats.
babies.
That's
Check under
right.
your seats. We got
Yeah.
African babies.
They threw my sister's best friend at us and said, this is your new sister. Because she was being mistreated because her father was remarrying and the new wife said it's either me or her. And the fucking father picked
Sent him to his
the
house.
new wife.
Jesus
So
Christ.
next thing you
Well,
know,
we ain't seen that wife though, so don't try to
no,
judge.
no,
That
no.
could be a hot. That could be a hot tamale, goddamn.
very
Let me go throw my daughter out because you look good to the motherfucker.
Yeah, no shit, right? I think we all understand. We understand. So,
Fucking
but instead of
Sophia
just,
Vergara's gonna-
but this is how twisted my family was. Instead of going, hey, this is Karen. She's gonna live with us for a while. She's having problems at home. They introduced her as like a new sister.
Oh, geez.
And then she was in all the family pictures, and even when we put our initials in the cement outside the house, we put her initials.
That's why I thought it was like an extra kid the father didn't want to tell Opie and them about.
Right,
Sad.
right,
Hey,
yeah.
remember.
She had the same kind of reddish, like strawberry blonde hair.
That's his
too.
father's kid.
But
Right.
it was curly. So my
She's
dad
from
went,
Kansas.
My dad went kink.
Yeah, she just moved here.
But anyway, my parents, we opened everything Christmas Eve, and I didn't understand until years later because we were so young and we had youth on our side. We opened up all our shit. We're barely teenagers, so we're talking maybe 13 all the way down to 6 or 7.
Right.
Now we're allowed to stay up all night, and my parents could go upstairs and crash.
Right.
Because then by the time we're so tired, then we go to bed, and then they got half of Christmas to themselves too
Right.
because we're now sleeping in.
Right.
Strong move,
Brilliant.
I think. That's a good move, right?
Brilliant move.
When you have 7, 8, 9 kids.
They had the best Christmas breakfast with you fucking knuckleheads knocked out.
Right.
Sprawled across the
Yeah.
floor in the living room.
Coffee,
Right.
Jameson.
Passed out with a G.I. Joe up your ass.
I think Karen was her sister for a few years, and then she couldn't take my mom. And one day she basically had her boyfriend come with a white pickup truck, put all her belongings in there. She cried as she hugged us goodbye. We never saw her
How
again.
old was she?
No shit.
Never saw her again.
She couldn't have been more than 18,
Have you
19.
heard from her?
No.
Some of my siblings have over the years, but
And what
that-
they
What is
say?
she now?
and I really liked
60?
her. Huh?
How old is she?
Oh, how old is
Only
she?
40, 50
no,
years
she
old?
might be
50?
60 at this point.
What they say?
never
Where,
heard-
where
you
is
haven't
she?
heard-
No, man.
But she liked it. She was happy. She was
I'm
appreciative.
not
But she
surprised
hated my
Opie
mom
didn't
so
know.
much. They
She
did
had
not
to
get
leave.
along because my
had
mom,
to leave. She
my
was a
mom was
bastard child.
incredibly strict and a pain in the ass.
Bastard child from your father. That's what your mother didn't like.
No, my mother did that to my my older
back to the
sister,
regular
my
sister.
stepsister.
It was another step?
Well,
A
my
different
dad was
step.
married before my mom.
Oh, okay.
And the only reason I'm here because she died tragically at 26 years old.
Was your mother whereabouts known when she...
Gonna
Who
get
killed
accused
this
of
woman?
rehashing old bits at this point.
Yeah, I know.
I like-
But I like telling it to new people, and then
you
we get a
put-
little different angle on
He
it.
That
did
is
die?
interesting.
He posted the LBJ shit like a week or so ago. Lyndon Baines Johnson, some classic quotes from because he had
Oh,
a
yeah.
million funny things. he
LBJ
said. He had to
want-
have his pants let out. He was talking to his tailor, and he's like, "I need more room for my hog."
Well, yeah.
Basically.
He needed room
He
all
said
the way to his bunghole.
Bung
He
hole.
said bunghole.
Yeah.
It's worth listening to. It's
totally-
good.
But it's literally like
You ever hear
John
the one-
F. Kennedy asked not what your country can
Yeah.
do. But so he posted this in the middle of one of the podcasts. So then everyone started shitting on him like, stop rehashing old shit.
Whatever. He was talking to Haig, as in Haig slacks.
Yeah?
Right.
And he's like, and I need a little because basically he said it's a little too tight.
And
So it's like sitting on a fence. He said his balls.
Yeah.
So he needs a little room all
just
the way
leave another inch in there.
all the way to his bunghole.
Right, so I can let it out.
Well, the
Right.
appendix scar one, he drops trowel.
What?
There's video.
I don't know
He
this
had
one.
his appendix taken out, and that's what when you brought up the bunghole Taylor thing, I thought
Yeah.
you were bringing up this one.
I don't know that one.
He had his appendix taken out. He's standing there like any president having the goddamn press conference at the end of the day, and they're
Yeah.
like, "How you feeling?" He's like, "How you look? I'm feeling." He got this, and just fucking drops
Oh, he
trowel.
was-
Hey, y'all, look at this. Yeah.
You see
The
the about
scar?
8-inch scar where
He
it's,
could-
obviously
he-
been about a week before. It's just healed. He's like, "How you think I'm feeling if you just had this done?"
Right.
to you?"
Wow.
He could be our greatest president ever.
Wow.
Because of the stuff he did and
The
said.
Great Society.
Because he didn't have to get
He's
elected.
the author of the Great Society.
Did you ever see what he looked like
He's
after
the
he
author
left
of the Civil
office?
Rights Bill in 1964.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
one of his greatest.
Nah, but he was a racist before that.
You know, he
Vic, you
wasn't,
know that.
You know, he was just happened to be in that position.
Yeah, well, nowadays they call it
wasn't-
evolving.
yeah.
He evolved in his thoughts
Well, that
on,
was
on
George
race.
Wallace. That
But
was
he
George
was
Wallace.
he voted against all that shit, and then he becomes the man when in
Well,
the
you
end.
remember that was George Wallace.
Yeah.
George Wallace.
Wallace, that bullet changed him.
He was, George Wallace was the progressive guy.
Yes.
Got beat by the racist guy.
Yes.
So then
Yeah.
he switched back over to "I'll
yeah.
out racist you, motherfucker."
Yeah.
And then he kind of switched back by the 80s.
After that bullet caught him.
Yeah.
After that bullet
Once
got
he
him,
got
took his legs out.
paralyzed.
Yeah, there you go.
But
Think a lot when you can't walk.
I need to think about this.
well, let me humor Judd just to fill in the blank. So, my dad marries his high school sweetheart.
Right.
He has 3 kids. 2 die,
Oh, Jesus.
like
okay.
a crib death.
Oh, wow.
What?
Wow.
Literally two. I should have 2 older brothers, but I don't know much about it because we weren't really allowed to talk about my dad's past life.
Because everybody died in it.
No,
and he's the only survivor?
No, my sister's around.
Well,
They
plus,
went
my older
around.
sister.
plus y'all were sex trafficking that other poor girl or whatever was going on.
Everybody
A truck pulled up and she disappeared.
Wow, that's not a bad take on this.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe I should start
Her
looking
time
at
was up.
But anyway, so
Wait, the 2 babies died of crib death.
crib death.
Same crib? Didn't they learn from the first baby?
I think they died more or less at the same time,
Like
too.
SIDS?
Like he was driving down the road like crazy. And he got pulled over and in tears, and a cop was like, "Hey," and then the cop saw and then helped him get to the hospital. That's how my memory remembers the story, because my dad never really talked about this.
That was the first one.
He was married to his high school sweetheart. She died of a rare kidney disease that if you have now, you could survive a lot longer. And he lost the 2 kids. And
He
then
lost the kids before he lost her, or after he lost her?
kids first and then her.
Kids first and then
And
her.
took pictures of her on her deathbed.
Your father did?
Yeah, he was in love with her.
He was in love with her.
My mom was a rebound.
Death
You're a
rebound.
bad kid.
I think she was a rebound.
That's crazy.
Because they got married, like, they barely knew each other. They got married and then had 6 kids. Nah, my dad loved my mom. Come on.
That's like some Joe Biden thing, like you had a
Yeah,
family
really.
before and shit.
But
Yeah.
see, my mom.
And they all dead but you?
Yeah.
How convenient.
Oh, the car crash, you sick fuck.
Yeah.
But, wow. But, I don't know if my dad ever got over that, because he had a house in, I think, Hicksville, and they had like a little apple tree or something, and there's a picture of him and his wife that died.
She was his high school sweetheart?
And then the next picture in the photo album is my mom under the same fucking tree.
No. Your father had a fuck tree? He's like, if you look over here, it's the roots.
Yeah. No, honey, stand right here.
I'll be honest with you. He loved my mom. Late in his life, I went out and I got drunk with my dad, and I finally started asking questions. We weren't allowed to ask any of those questions in the house because my mom would get jealous and pissed off. It was like, yo, this was his life before you, man.
Right.
Yeah. We got drunk and I asked him, and he's like, I look at it as 2 different lives, that I literally got to live 2 different lives, because he's like, I can't imagine my life without all you kids, meaning the 6 he had with my mom.
Right.
But I had to go through all that hell to get to where I am today, sitting at this bar in love with my son, basically having beers and having a great time. So life's weird, man.
Life is weird
Life's
that way,
fucking
man.
weird, right?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Life is so strange.
There's a lot
When you
there.
don't know.
Missing persons.
There you go. Nice pull.
All right.
Del Bozio.
Yes. Sexy.
Very sexy.
Very
Naked and
sexy.
Playboy.
We were talking
she
about
was
you
naked
before
in
you got
Playboy.
here.
I believe that.
Well, we were talking about it, and about the Carl's Memorial.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody.
They ain't singing songs.
that's
You gotta let them sing.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, Jay.
No, I was just telling. We were talking about him before he got here.
We were
about
saying
the-
nice things.
No, of course.
No, I
but
heard the
about
N-word was brought up.
He said it. It was
Well,
him.
there was an A at the end, and I felt bad.
I made him do it.
I was only saying what you said.
I did force him into doing it. No,
So
we
it
were
was
quoting
N-word.
you.
It
We
was.
were quoting
Right.
you. We were
Well, look,
quoting you.
and I told them earlier, and I've told
I
people.
was assuming that, by the way.
You say the N-word better than anybody I've ever heard in my life.
All right.
It's musical the way you say it.
I'm up there with Samuel
It
L.
is.
Jackson, but I'll hear you out.
It is beautiful. No. Look, you've called me that, and that's magical. I mean, it's but no. Remember when Freddie was doing the toast?
Oh, yeah.
And he was going through, and he's like, and it was all awkward and everything, and then you. He says, and Carl introduced me to all these idiots and even Sherrod, and I don't know if Sherrod's here, and you were like, I'm back here, and you gave him that, right.
Yeah.
And it was just perfect, and the crowd erupted. I mean, it's just musical the way you do it.
Yo, you've never heard my N-word.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't. You're true. That's right.
musical.
That's
Mine's-
right.
mine's
That's
musical.
right.
I've heard it before.
No. I actually don't. I feel like
Usually in traffic.
I hate this. I hate this discussion, but I feel like I should be able to say the word, but I don't.
Why do you feel like you should be?
Because
though?
it drives me nuts when I hear the kids outside McDonald's
And they just
and
throwing it
this
around?
and that, like it's nothing. So I'm like, there's no power in this word anymore. But then,
No, it ain't.
then if Whitey says it, then there's power all of a
I
sudden.
wouldn't see it. I don't give a fuck about it. But if it's
And
just
even
how
the-
you use it, it's how you use it.
And
to
even
me.
the older black man, they agree with that. They're
What?
pissed off at the youth that
Oh,
they,
yeah, they don't
they
like
have
that.
like
hey,
taken
but-
the power out of that word. I don't care that much about the N-word discussion. I think it's very hypocritical, though. I really do. I mean, a lot of this stuff that's happening now is getting into. How did the them thing work out? by
Oh,
the
the
way?
they them.
The they them.
They
Because
used
I
the
want
word
to
of
ask.
the year.
He was hosting a show about a week or so ago,
Yeah.
and the person's name was a girl,
Right.
And it was like Donna Johnson. It was a
Right.
total regular name, but then in parentheses,
Said they
it said
go by they,
she
them.
only goes by they/them.
Pronouns used are they, them.
Okay.
In the parentheses. Right.
So when you
going-
introduced her,
So when I introduced her, I said her name. Well, when I was telling Vic about
I told
this
him
before,
if you don't say her fucking name, I will never talk to you again.
but he was thinking that I should just refer to her as they or them from the outset.
Give it up for they.
Right, and I'm like, no, because her name's on the thing or whatever. But it was so weird, and at the end, after she finished, I did say another round of applause for them.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I
I
did
was
say that at the
Wow.
end because I wanted to. Fuck it, and they just kept applauding, like
'Cause
fine.
you-
They didn't know
'cause you
anything.
wanted to see how it
That's what
played
was
out.
on the paper. Why
Yeah.
not? Sure.
yeah,
That
I'm
was
sure
right
she
there.
wanted her name said too. But if you referred to her, like you've seen her on, but
Right,
you've
right,
seen
right.
them on.
That's what I was like.
No
Another round of
goddamn
applause
sense.
for them.
Why is the they them a plural? Because it's fluid. I'm
Yeah,
confused
You can
by
be all.
it.
You can be.
Because
anything
one day
wanna
you
be.
might feel like
Yeah.
a boy, and the next day you feel like a girl.
Why not?
right.
Why not?
I'm very girly.
They was the word of the year
I'm
this
very
year.
girly.
Webster's.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
Am I?
I saw that. He's right. I
I'm
did
right.
see that.
That's
I did
true.
see that.
Webster's.
But what do you
Don't
think?
doubt him.
Yeah.
What do you
Right.
think of all that?
Whenever you doubt him, you're going to get in a lot of trouble.
you gonna do?
I learned this fucking 25 years ago.
We learned a long time ago. I learned a long time ago. Patrice really gave me a lot of knowledge over the years. It's like, as long as you don't have hate in your heart, but people,
Yeah.
if you don't go with this thing, then people go, "Oh, you're just a pig. You have hate." It's like,
just
no,
say,
I
"Hey,
just don't.
just
I
tell
just
me."
don't get it.
Yeah, I don't really.
It's not gonna. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it, but it's. I mean, when you get a little older, it seems a little weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm starting to understand my dad a little more. When we came home with our weird shit, and my dad's looking at us like he just wants to play his Frank Sinatra fucking records. He doesn't.
Perry Como.
Yeah, he doesn't understand Perry Como and who's the one? Dick Haynes.
Dean Martin.
Dick
Oh.
Haynes.
Yeah,
Another crooner
Hey, Dick Haynes.
that my dad liked.
Haynes?
He would sit in that chair and
Dean
just
Martin.
listen to his
Blast it,
crooners.
yeah, on a hi-fi.
Yeah, and then I would come in with a fucking earring, and I would
Highlights. And your little highlights.
I did the highlights.
You did the highlights.
He was disappointed in the highlights. He almost survived the earring.
I
Crunch.
fought in the war for this.
Crunch.
He almost survived the earring phase, but the highlights, he openly couldn't, like,
Oh, when you highlighted
he
your
had
hair?
disdain.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, Dad, just trying to, everyone's trying to, you know.
What's this 80s?
And then the earring, I had to go, but it's in the left ear. It's in the left ear. There was a time, as long as it was in the left ear, you were
then
cool.
you
But
get
not if your dad was listening to Frank Sinatra. He didn't give a fuck what ear. To him, it all meant the same thing.
Cry for help.
But
Cry
now,
for help.
but now that I'm older, I'm starting to understand with the they and the them and these things
Yeah,
that
it's a
seem
different
way over
generation.
my fucking head now. Right?
Yeah, it just seems, a world away. But that's, I don't care. But if they need to be
don't-
called they, I'll call you they, motherfucker.
Whatever.
Oh, I'll call you anything you want. Sure, absolutely. I don't care. Name it. I don't give a shit.
No.
Fucking-
Well, I don't like that, but they'll attack quickly if you're not in,
Well, he
in
had
step.
Did we
in
tell
line,
the,
I should say. In
Did we
line
tell
with
the
this-
Shay Shia story?
Yeah,
Yeah,
We did.
Right,
tell
we
it.
did, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
great story.
What happened?
No, he was watching CNN, and this lady whose her name came up. It was Don Lemon was having a town hall
town
about
hall,
the
yeah.
election, and a black woman whose name it came up SHEA, Shay, Shea Stadium.
Right.
But then he called her Shay, and then she went, "It's Shia," and when you don't pronounce my name wrong, I consider that an act of violence.
Violence
against
towards me. It's violence. You
that-
mispronounced my name.
But if
and I
it's
thought of
Shia,
all the people,
well, then put
Don
apostrophe.
Lemon is the one.
If it's
right?
Shia, then put SHE, put apostrophe.
Yeah, that's the dumbest. Look, my name is mispronounced all the time. Definitely in the South. Because my name is Sherrod, and down there they pronounce it nigger.
Christmas. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year.
I drag y'all down that alley.
We all went willingly.
In 2020,
We all went willingly.
in 2020, we'll figure all that out. Don't worry, Sherrod. We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. I finally got a woman mad at me because I held the door open for her. It finally happened in New York.
And she
to
got
me.
mad at you because
Oh,
you
yeah.
held it.
Yes,
And
that's
what'd
the
she
new thing. I'm more than capable. I don't remember the exact thing she said, but basically, I'm more than capable of opening my own fucking door.
That's a dumb lady.
a lot of anger.
That's
And
dumb.
I'm like,
She just wanted to be angry at you.
I'm like, what the fuck?
How was it a black woman, white woman?
no,
Puerto Rican, Spanish?
older lady
Older
actually.
woman.
Yeah. Yeah,
been
older
enough in your
lady
life.
that feels now empowered, I guess. It wasn't even a younger
Maybe
lady.
she knew you from the radio.
No, I finally got one of those, though. I'm like,
That's
Jesus,
ridiculous.
I'm just holding the fucking
I get
door.
more the other way where I hold it open and nobody says thank you, and I'm like, you know what?
Oh,
I
that
leg swipe
pisses
this
me
bitch.
off.
Do you say anything?
That's a Larry David.
No, I just go.
That's a good. That's a total. That's the whole. You know, a lot of the Curb Your Enthusiasm is when he does some little nice random thing like that he never did.
Right.
Then it spins into
Just
28
walks
minutes
in.
of psychosis. Of,
Right.
Look, I clearly held the fucking door open for you.
Who gets mad because somebody holds the door open for him? It's like
Ma'am,
a fucking
who gets mad at
psychopath.
ma'am?
Because
I'm paying you
they want
respect.
to be equal now, man.
Have you seen
Money, if
those
somebody holds
commercials?
the door open for me, I'm not gonna be like this. I could hold it. Motherfucker, get out of here. I could open my own door.
Have you ever had a
Come on, man.
lady open a door for you?
Yeah, I had him hold the door for me. Or
Lots of
I had a dude hold the door for me. He's
Wow.
called a doorman in my building.
He makes $45,000 a year and has union benefits.
And I spit at him every time I walk
Yes,
through.
he does. Never gets him a
Do
Christmas
you,
gift.
do you have to do tips in your
You give him the
building?
Christmas
Yeah, you always
gift?
gotta do tips.
You gotta do
I
that.
usually give
Dude.
a comedy club tickets.
Dude, my,
For the strip?
I'm done. Split that amongst y'all, nigga.
I'm not going to lie to you. The holiday tips have dropped a little bit. 2019 wasn't kind for me. So the
Tying
number,
it back a
so the
little
number
bit.
dropped a bit. So we're in hiding. We're in hiding until New
You
Year's.
taking the back door in?
Bag of oranges.
Because they remember.
Yes.
No, there was
they
a time
recall.
I was spending between $2,000 and $3,000 on
good,
tips in
man.
my building.
Wow.
Well, no, we have like 40 people. They give you a list, and they're like, I
Right.
got to tip 40 fucking people every year.
I used to shell
I would rather
They
give
love
them
the tickets, though. They love the comic strip. Like the comic strip tickets, they go
comic
eat
strip
shit.
They're getting something.
It's like
Right.
currency.
It has a dollar value on
Yeah.
it, even
But like
though
the-
it's worth nothing.
Nothing.
But the main
Nothing.
people were getting
Right.
100, and then you drop down. It's like a pyramid. All right, then I got to give the second tier 50.
That's how they view you, too.
30.
Right.
But now the
Those who tip and those who do not.
and now the top tier is
Top tier is too.
it's hurting. It's hurting. I asked my wife on my way here. I go, "Has anyone said thank you yet?" And she's like, "Nope." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Not a one.
because it wasn't enough money." But then she did tell me that one finally gave her a hug and said, "Merry Christmas." I'm like, "All right, good."
Yeah.
I don't have a building where 40 dudes is working in.
Yeah.
I hit the janitor, too.
Right.
No,
The
they're
maintenance
not called
guy.
janitors in my building.
In a maintenance.
But we know. Yeah, I see you with a mop.
Concierge?
I see. Yeah, they have a fancy name. I'm
Fiscal
like,
plant
I see you with
representatives?
a mop every time I see you. What do you mean you're a concierge? Fucking. Be proud. You're a janitor. You sat in the back of the bus, smoked pot, and had a good
You
time.
can't call them that no more. You call them they.
They. Call them they. That's right.
Yeah, you got to tip a lot. It's a lot of tipping going on.
Actually, the lower people I gave really good tips to because they were the nicest people.
Right.
Because they didn't expect anything from me. It was the ones that have a real title that look at us. There's one lady in my building. She refused to say thank you for the tips
Like every year?
because she feels entitled, I guess.
What? Then stop giving it to her.
That's what I was thinking. I do tip the mailman, but I'm furious of the junk mail.
Junk mail. Do you ever see your mailman ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's cool as fuck, and I bitch about the junk mail. He's like, dude, tell me about it. It's all we do now.
Right.
Half their job is just stuffing junk mail
junk
into the
shit.
tiny little mailboxes.
It's got to be depressing for them.
Mine's the same lady forever, and she always smells good. And in the completely non-creepy way, 20-something years ago, I passed her one day, and I'm like, it always smells good. She'll sit there loading all the mailboxes, and I just happen to be running my errands, and I walk out there, I'm like, oh my God, I kind of want to stalk you.
It's all coupons and garbage now, though. That's all they got.
Yeah, there ain't no mail. You don't
It's
get
email
any.
now.
Yeah,
All your
you
porn
don't get
shit
any
come
hard
through.
mail.
Vic failed to tell you that she smells like roadkill.
That's right. Dead pigeons.
Bad.
Dead pigeons.
Dead pigeons.
Oh, you got a few people online.
Good.
Yeah, a few people said, fuck that guy.
Really?
He admitted on one of the podcasts. Yeah, but we all get
Admitted what?
dumb shit. He
We had,
admits that he
some-
kills baby pigeons.
Some pigeons were roosting under my 2 floors above me several years ago, 10 years ago.
Like, all that, you
They,
can hear all that
the
shit.
lady has a window unit air conditioner. She went out of town for 6 weeks during around this time of the year, and these pigeons roosted underneath there. And I killed them with a fucking broom
Savage.
handle. I beat them
Savage.
to fucking death. I scaled down the fire scope and took a broom handle and raked the fucking nest out and beat the shit out of them and murdered them because I did not want them coming back for the next 30 fucking years.
Look at your face. Look at Sherrod's face.
Let's go to commercial.
You were hoping he was going to be on your side.
It's Christmas. I thought
I don't care.
I told him at the time, I'm like,
do not
it was the
care
babies.
Well, yeah, they're in the nest beep, 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 every fucking morning. I got a pigeon rooster alarm clock going off at fucking 5:30
I
in the
told him
morning.
at the time, you can't kill anything with the word baby in it.
Yes, you can.
Except
They're
for
fucking vermin.
Hitler. Baby
Vermin,
Hitler, no
baby
problem.
Hitler,
But
baby
besides
Mussolini.
baby Hitler, I don't.
Did you?
That baby Hitler
Why did you
argument.
spray water or something on them?
Because then they would live.
But they would leave.
No.
That's
they
called a
won't
bath,
leave.
dude. They're gonna
They
be hanging
won't
out.
leave.
They're not gonna
No.
do it. Yeah.
I killed the babies, and then when the parents came back 2 days later looking for the babies, I killed them.
You killed the parents.
Yes, with a pistol, with a BB pistol, off my roof.
What?
Well,
You had to get rid of this, or it's going to keep coming back for 30 years.
The why is easy.
You got family in the South, man. You understand this kind of thing.
I mean,
you
just
know?
kidding. I was just in the South
Yeah.
shooting guns.
The why is easy. Little Vicky doesn't get a hard on.
I would think
They
there's a
survive.
better way to do it.
No,
because to eat is
there's
a better
not.
way.
There's not. No.
I
Yeah.
think you wasted good meat. You should at
No.
least eat the meat.
I said pigeon pate. I made
Yeah,
a
the
lovely
French
pigeon.
would've made it up.
I made a little pigeon pate.
I think Jeffrey Dahmer said something very similar.
No, that's a whole other thing.
Dude,
I did
did
not
you-
start killing pets.
Right.
They're not pets. They're fucking New York City vermin
Isn't-
that will shit and ruin your property and will be back there every goddamn year if you don't get rid of them. You don't kill the babies in the family, you're going to have pigeon shit all over you for 40 fucking years.
Isn't it true? I had the Jeffrey.
Hey.
I'm just
Hey.
saying.
I mean,
I had the Jeffrey Dahmer detective on my old show a million years ago. I'm trying to remember, but isn't it true that like one of the guys escaped and he was completely naked, running down the road,
Yes.
and they still didn't
And
think
they,
anything?
and they grabbed them, took them back to Dahmer's house, and left them there.
Yeah, they still didn't think anything of
They
it.
took 'em back to
Dahmer
Dahmer's
smooth
house.
talked him. Was like,
Yeah.
oh, we just had a little fight.
Wow.
And the guy's looking like,
Yeah. And took them back.
Wow.
Yeah.
And took him back to him. That's how white Dahmer was and black that dude was. You lost a nigger?
oh my
Really.
god.
But that's true. I
yeah.
thought it was an Asian dude.
Hey-
Or
Oh, it might have been Asian. You're
It
right.
might have
I
been
wanna
I
say-
didn't know he was not
But
white.
right, he was not white. He was,
I want to say
the
Asian
not
too.
white man got returned.
Take him back to
serial
Dahmer's.
killer.
He's from the Dahmer house on the corner.
Everything's okay
All
up
right.
there.
We saw him run out of there.
Right.
Mel-ordered Filipino boy was one of them.
Right.
I would think an Asian dude would be a little gamey.
No.
Oh, come on.
Curry.
What?
Curry.
What?
You went the wrong joke.
What is that? What happened? What happened? We're just having fun here.
Will you?
What happened?
It's venison-y.
This is a lot of fun. I want to thank Gebhards for really hosting us for all of 2019. We did so many episodes here. I almost called you Carl. Oh my
I'll
God.
take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
Judd is wearing his tribute to Carl.
Oh, yes, this is my tribute to Carl today. It's a T-shirt with a cat in space and a taco. Perfect.
Big fat cat.
Big fat
overweight cat,
cat
with
space and a taco.
the cone on its head, like
I just
out of the vet.
My homage to Carl. I figured
Fat
it's,
overweight kitty
yeah.
with the cone on its head and a taco.
Right.
I got
And
one.
all of Carl's glory.
I got one 2019 question because this is the last episode of the year. What was the story of 2019? You think? Obviously, in our world, Carl.
It's Carl, yeah.
Yeah.
But I
that's
mean,
what was
as far
gonna
as-
say, right. Auburn beat Alabama, goddammit. That's all I got to say.
I think it's probably impeachment, right?
Not really. Because he ain't
What
going
other
to, they ain't
stories
throwing
was
him
the big,
out.
like the big news story?
But that ain't no story. They ain't throwing him out.
I mean, it's still the big coverage of it.
Fine, whatever.
It's not if he's out of in, it's the impeachment itself.
Well, it's
Well, know
stupid.
what drives me nuts about the
Fucking
impeachment, and it shows that the system is obviously broken. All the Democrats voting for impeachment. I mean, there was a couple stragglers, barely though, and all the Republicans saying, hell no.
Don't do
That's
this.
all you need. And what I said, that just means there's a lot of liars out there. Because both sides, even I'm sure there's a handful of Democrats that did not want to vote for impeachment.
Right.
And there's
You gotta
certainly...
protect the shield and, go with your...
I hate that shit.
The story is Mitch McConnell's neck is trying to eat his head.
Can we
That's
all
the-
agree that he's awful? at
I
least?
literally agree that
He's a
his
human
neck,
scrotum.
I don't know what's going on. It is.
Melding into, yeah.
Does someone
That's
actually...
the story of the year.
Does someone actually fuck him?
Well, it's that woman.
Nah,
It's
anymore.
her name's like Elaine Chow. She's
the Asian lady that's on Trump's cabinet.
yeah, she's in the cabinet, like
She has-
transportation.
She has
or
giant
Oh,
poopy
that's
hair.
his woman?
That's his
Right.
girl?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he likes.
No.
He likes
No.
straight up Kentucky. He likes those Asians.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, boy.
Everybody does.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But then you got,
Themselves, yeah.
you know what? Let's give them all a beating to end 2019. Mitch McConnell is the turtle that I can't imagine anyone likes that fucking guy.
Nobody.
And then you got Nancy Pelosi. We're just ignoring that she
Idiot.
might have had a stroke.
The lady, yes.
She makes me
Botox,
Something's going on
bad,
with her
whole
mouth.
lot of work.
It's either that she's trying to get used to new teeth or she had some kind of stroke or something.
She looks
Both.
fragile.
Yes.
No, he's
It always
right.
looks
It's some
fragile
sort of-
to me.
It's really weird. It's creepy.
And then Joe Biden's too fucking old.
Or Lindsey Graham,
I
the
hate
gayest hillbilly ever.
I tell you,
Is he-
every time,
No, he's not, but he sounds completely.
every time he comes on,
That's right. Come on.
Yeah.
He's a they. That's
yeah, right.
He's a day.
He's just
He's fluid.
hello.
He's fluid.
Hi.
Right.
Gosh.
He's fluid.
Every time he comes on television, if Lisa and I are watching, it's the stupidest goddamn thing, but she laughs every time. Lindsey Graham comes on, and I just go, "Hi, everybody, I'm Lindsey Graham, South Carolina's most eligible bachelor." It's just, that's who he is.
Single.
Still single.
Oh,
He's
perpetual
Ed-
bachelor.
Perpetual, but never.
He's
mind.
Ed Koch single.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's, you should close on that. That should be the end of the
we're
show.
not closing. We're having
That
too much
should be
fun.
the end of the show.
No, why do you want to leave? This is
No,
fun.
because that was just funny.
Yeah.
That's,
But
that's
Ed
old school
Koch,
New York
very
funny.
good.
That's old school New York funny.
Yeah, everyone ignored that Ed Koch was as gay as he got.
Ever.
Yeah.
Had a
Because
downtown.
it was the 70s.
He had a boy.
80s, 70s.
He had a boy toy
He
pad.
lived right next to the Washington Square
Down
Park,
in the
right down the
right,
cellar.
yeah. He had a boy
What was his
toy boy.
catchphrase again?
How am I doing?
How am I doing? Right. How am I doing? Ed Koch.
I
Got
thought
a
it was.
bridge named after him.
I thought it was I love cock.
Yeah, just the tip. Right. Yeah.
Ed Koch was fun, man.
He was a
Oh, he was
fun.
great. Everybody
11
knows.
years. I mean, he was in it for a
Two
long
terms,
time.
two
Fun,
terms, two
terms.
terms.
And then you got Chuck Schumer, because a lot of people say I don't take enough hits with the left because Trump's so easy to make fun of,
Yes.
and it drives people nuts. But he does so much stuff that is just fun to make fun of.
Yeah.
But with Chuck Schumer's so old, he's doing Dragnet references, and he's proud of himself.
Now, Chuck Schumer, that's Amy's uncle?
Amy's
They're
cousin.
related.
or something.
They're related.
Yeah.
I forget exactly how they're related, but they're cousins. I think they are officially are
Jews.
cousins. They're Jews. But Chuck Schumer's
I'll do the racist joke.
because you got the voice for it. They expect it from you. But Chuck Schumer's doing Dragnet references and like just the facts and stuff, and,
Yeah.
he's, and
See
he's
that the other
proud
day.
of it. And I'm like,
He's an old dude.
Obama said, and see, you say Obama, now everyone's pissed off as they listen to this podcast, but he said something really smart if you want to actually listen to people that you don't agree with. He said that most of these politicians have to get out of the way and allow the youth to take over.
Yeah.
And
That's why term limits is probably the most
I
important
agree.
fucking fact.
Dude, you got three
Everybody's
Democratic
over
candidates that are in their, well, how old? Biden's 77,
The
right?
top three.
No.
Elizabeth
70s,
Warren is
early
70.
70s, yeah.
And Bernie with a heart attack in his late 70s.
Yeah.
Right.
That's your
All-
front runners. That shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
And fuck that ageism stuff. Sometimes ageism is what it is. You're
Yeah.
too fucking old.
I'm looking 40s, 50s, maybe 60s for presidents.
Yeah.
But everything older than that, it's like, what? Why are we still...
Right.
But when you get nobody good coming up because they block everybody out the game,
Right.
They close off the new guys.
Yeah.
So new guys ain't gonna get the backing because they're not gonna get the backing just to get in the game because they want to be controlled. And the motherfuckers in the game want to control
Yeah.
the new motherfuckers.
This is what I want to say
That's
is
right.
We
You're
caught up in a
You're right.
loop that ain't
yeah,
looping.
this is what I want to say as 2019 comes to a close.
Straight up.
I don't like Trump as our president, but I like Trump.
I know you do.
No, because he's fun.
He is fun, but
I like chaos.
Mike Chase.
I like chaos.
I do.
right.
I like chaos. Yeah.
Mike.
Because he used to
Chase-
call the radio show. He was always really nice to me and Ann. And then after Ann left, he continued to call the show. Entertaining as all hell.
Yeah.
So can you like a guy but also not want him to be your president?
Mike Che has a joke where he's like all his foreign friends like, I love your president. He's so funny. But having a Trump as president is like having a father who's an alcoholic. It's like, yeah, he makes you laugh, but he hits us.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
He hits us, motherfucker.
Who do you think the next president's going to be?
Who knows?
And most of us at this table, I think all of us, we don't give a fuck, right?
I care, but
Do-
I think
I'm a
it's gonna.
vote.
Why do you care?
Because I'm a vote.
But do you think your life's going to change if
I think things can change if you got the wrong person in
How?
office. First of all, just Supreme Court. This motherfucker's
Well,
coming out
yeah,
of the
yeah,
Supreme
yeah.
Court. Whoever's in charge of that matters a lot. That's
No,
gonna
that's
matter
true.
for the next 2-3 decades.
That's still the
And that's
most.
my daughter's life. So that matters to me.
That's still the most important thing. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
That is real change that a president could do.
Yeah.
But the rest of the stuff is horseshit. I have a million Trump supporters in my family, and I look at them like, well, tell me how your life changed. That's all.
Yeah.
Tell me how it changed. And they can't
say the
answer the
economy's-
question.
or they'll say the
But they love
economy's
being on a
good.
winning team.
They'll
We
say
all
the
love being on the
economy's
winning
It's
team.
all about teams now.
The economy's
Yeah.
good if you have a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I've heard positive.
A lot of people be like this. The
Everybody
economy's good.
likes
It's still
him.
the broke motherfucker still to check to check
Right.
they used to be. It's like, what's good for you?
Right.
Right.
I
Well,
don't care
like
if they
not
say
only
it.
not
I
only
still have plenty of people in my family that aren't picking up checks. So guess what?
Yeah.
Trump didn't make their lives better. That's what I say.
And that tax break.
It's just a
didn't really
joke.
affect
It's
anybody.
just a joke. Calm down. Calm down.
But I think he's gonna win again. Personally,
I think so too.
Yeah,
At this
but we'll
point,
see.
because Democrats, he was definitely Trump's damaged in a way, right?
Very.
And then the Democrats couldn't figure out a real candidate to go up against him. They're
Because-
not voting for a gay guy.
because he changed the game.
They're not ready for a gay president.
well, and he's
They
almost
might be.
like the best. Like I
They
mean,
get
almost like
closer.
the best one at this point.
He might be
on that
gay, but
side.
he's also a veteran. So
yeah.
Hey, Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
Well, see, now that's why.
Buttigieg.
That's why I
still can't
think
figure out how to
no,
say
I
it.
finally figured it out.
still-
It's like
I
only
figured
the
it's fine.
hardened,
Gary.
Buttigieg.
That's where he's fucking from.
There you
only
go.
the hardened asshole would be like this. I don't care if he's a veteran or not. He gay, even though you're not
Right.
fighting
yeah.
for your country.
There's probably a lot. Exactly.
He's in 2-3
No.
tours.
As soon as he started talking about wine caves, I'm like, I gotta pronounce this guy's name correctly.
I was actually there at the wine cave. It was a beautiful night. A beautiful.
Dude, there used to be a joint on Columbus Avenue when I first started dating my wife.
Yeah.
It was
secret
a
thing?
true turn of like the Stone Age fucking cave underground that we would hang out, a Mediterranean place
Right.
with a fucking waterfall because it's an old waterfall that still flows in New York.
yeah, it's a couple.
that they
On
incorporated.
the west side of downtown.
No, it's
Up here.
literally a
Okay,
couple blocks
nice.
away.
Okay.
It finally closed down,
You
but
gotta
you
have the
walked
ultra,
in and
you
What's
gotta
there
have it.
now?
it was all just
Now
all
it's a
just
CVS
rocks.
nigga with a.
Walgreens.
Massage parlor.
I don't know what it is because we haven't walked by that area in a
It's a
while.
spot downtown.
But it was
no
all
longer have
rocks
love
with a
in there,
waterfall that they did not put in. It was actually a water,
There's a
'cause-
lot of springs that's still in New
Yeah,
York.
Manhattan
Just
has tons of
Minetta
rivers.
Lane next to the cellar. Still, the river, the little lake runs under the fucking street.
Oh, I
that
know.
Stone Stream goes from the under street to the
Because
Hudson.
it's an island, motherfucker.
It goes to the Hudson.
I know Meadow Lane.
We
and I-
live on an
crazy.
island.
Yeah,
know
we
why,
live on an island.
know why I know Meadow Lane?
Meadow Lane?
Because one of the best books I ever read, Rats.
Oh,
And they talk about Meadow. They talk about Meadow Lane.
And
it was
rats.
infested with rats.
You saw the documentary about with the terrier dogs chasing the rats downtown, right?
I saw that.
Oh, all that.
It wasn't part of. It wasn't
Love
an
that
all
shit.
out.
It wasn't a whole documentary. It was a section
Yeah, of course I
it.
saw it.
Oh, no, we've covered rats.
No,
I wanna-
but let's
I wanna go
talk
down
about
there
that for a
with them.
second. There's clubs in New York.
Oh,
they,
yes. I
they
wanna
meet
go
at
out
like
with them.
midnight, 1 in the morning with
Yes.
their terrier dogs because terrier
Oh,
dogs
they set 'em
love
loose.
They love
yes.
hunting rats.
They love them.
and these cute dogs that if you saw them during the day, you
Adorable.
wouldn't even think
It's one of
twice.
Jack Russell Terrier.
Yes,
Just
sir. Wild
pocketbook
hair.
dogs. Pocketbook dogs, and you
Yeah.
bring your back.
Yep.
But the sun goes
Turn
down
them
and they're
loose, by
attacking
God.
dumpsters,
Dumpsters.
going
Right.
for the rats.
They were shaking the green dumpsters,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the fucking
Yeah.
rats come out the corner.
Coming out.
Terriers. Remember that one rat
love it. I love
played
it.
dead
Yeah.
in the dog's mouth, and then the dude took the tail, and the rat fucking tried to run, and then he chased it again and bit
Right,
it.
right,
Ah,
right.
it was so great. You never think little
love
dogs
it.
are killers like that.
This is where I get to do my Willard reference. Tear him up!
Good old Willard.
Tear them up.
Bruce Davidson. Sicking him on Ernest Borgnine.
That was the original.
I think so.
They redid that movie, right?
I think it's Bruce Davidson sicking him on Ernest Borgnine.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that,
Tear them up.
Tear him up. And then Ben, the Michael Jackson song.
I'm
was the
obsessed with
sequel.
rats. They said that.
I'm obsessed with him too.
They said.
Willard, Bruce Davidson.
You ever hear one hiss when they're cornered?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
They were hissing on that fucking segment.
Well,
I want to
no.
go and see him live. I want to go down.
We were
out with
walking.
him one night.
We were walking home
That light
drunk
on.
one night
Sure.
in this neighborhood with my brother-in-laws. It was when I was dating my wife, and they came up from Philly.
Yeah.
Drunk as fuck, and we see like a rat, a brownstone, where you step down into the apartment
Yeah.
and the garbage pails.
Yeah.
And there's a rat in there, so we decided we're drunk, so we're like, oh, let's, and so we
with it.
started walking toward it. This thing hissed. We screamed like bitches.
I believe it.
Dude, I was fucking petrified.
They fight.
But I've never heard a rat hiss before.
No, raccoon's worse.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're fucking awful.
Right.
All right.
And
Possums.
Fucking rats,
I remember when I first, I've been here about a year, so it's like 86. And it's like 3:30 in the morning, and I'm staggering back to the subway, and I hear gunfire. and I run towards it.
Oh, you got it.
Because
it's New York.
I'm Forrest Gump. There's a carnival.
What y'all doing over here?
You got it.
What's that?
And it's 2 New York City cops, and they're sitting on the hood of their car.
Shooting at rat?
Shooting at rats on this back alley. They're just sitting on the hoods, bam, ba, 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 all around the dumpster.
Beautiful.
And they immediately go, all right, motherfucker, never run towards gunfire.
Yeah.
But I literally like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah. I heard y'all over
What's
here.
going on?
And they were taking out the
They were-
raccoons?
They were just sitting there shooting out fucking raccoons and rats on the fucking.
We've talked about this
back of
too.
the
When you
dumpster.
walk across the park in the middle of the
Mainly
night,
rats.
Yeah.
all the raccoons come out, and they look like goddamn kangaroos when
Yeah.
they're running
Big.
across the some of the parks or the open fields.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck is that?
that?
And you're like, holy shit, that's a raccoon.
Big as fuck. I saw a family like 8 on like out the park next to the museum, but on like the buildings right over there.
Yeah.
On the scaffolding.
Yeah.
Up on the scaffolding.
Yeah.
A mother and like
hanging
7.
out.
Right.
The
Yeah.
mother, the father, and like 6 or 7 fucking pups. I'm like, how?
Yep.
The fuck are y'all living in the city?
Yeah.
How are you
How do you
affording
cross the
rats?
street?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
All of them. It was it was.
How do you afford the holiday tips?
How do you tip your
Doorman.
doorman?
I like a
Did I
good
tell you the one
callback.
where the,
A huge family of them. I couldn't believe
Really?
it. Daytime. I put it on my Instagram.
How about when a coyote comes?
I was gonna say
I
the
seen
coyotes.
coyotes in Central
Yeah.
Park. I seen one in
Yeah.
Central Park, nigga. On my bike. It was raining. I was on the bike
just said your
trail.
favorite
I'm
word.
looking inside,
Perfect.
and I see something run toward the tree and behind the tree, and I'm like this. Okay, I'm not bugging. It's no people over there, so it's not somebody's dog.
Yeah.
Unless it's a stray dog. Let me see. I'm on my bike. I go closer. Motherfucker, it's a coyote.
Yep.
In the middle of
In
Manhattan.
Central Park in the 70s. In the 70s of
Yeah,
Central Park.
I believe
Right.
you. Because
In
they
the
say
rain,
they
dark
come
time.
down through the tracks.
They come down to the tracks and come all the way down. I didn't know they was coming down here like
I
that
tell-
far. I saw it with my
that
own eyes. I bugged out.
Wow.
Did I tell you about the
Wow.
raccoon where my friends had it in their house?
It was so
and he
crazy.
didn't hiss. I think I told you a story where they
Actually
trapped
in
him
the house?
So my friends go out of
trying to
town.
remember.
And
Yeah.
they come home and they realize something's in their house, a possum or a raccoon or something. They've been going down to Florida for a couple of days and there's shit everywhere, food, poop, all kinds of shit everywhere. So they call her brother, my friend's wife's brother, who's a
Turtle man?
hunter. Yeah, well, exactly. Yes.
He's the turtle man of the
Neil,
family.
yeah, Neil knows. Neil's got a cage.
Was it Turtle Town?
Neil's got a cage. So Neil comes back and he catches him. It's a raccoon. It's up in their house. So he brings him down. And they're sitting there, and he ain't being crazy. Normally, they're biting the cage. They're fucking screaming. And, This motherfucker's just sitting there, totally looking
How's he
like
carrying him out?
he's got him in a cage. It's a big box. It's trapped.
Right.
So he's got him in a couch. Yeah. He put the cage up, put some bait in it, caught
got
him
him.
in their bathroom upstairs. Now he's walking him back through the kitchen, but the motherfucker ain't usually when they're hitting the cage at 900
probably
miles
used
an
to
hour.
it.
He's just the raccoon ain't doing shit. He's just sitting there looking quiet and
Plotting.
well, he drives him away. So my buddy and his wife go upstairs to clean up all the stuff. There's raccoon shit all over their bathroom. And they're like, what the fuck? And they figure it out. He's gotten underneath their sink and he's eating some X-Lax. He's eating chocolate X-Lax. So he had uncontrollable diarrhea. And that's why that was why he wasn't fucking hitting the cage.
He was dehydrated.
He was like any person who couldn't stop shitting.
He's like, hey man, can you let me out? Yeah. Got a little pressure.
Holy.
Please.
But they're holding. Her brother's going, I've never seen this behavior before. Normally they're
Boy, he's
clawing and
docile.
spitting and hitting. This one's like, help me. Can you help me out?
Yeah, right.
Just help me out. Just take me outside. Somebody. I got to shit. I've been shitting for 3 hours. Can you please just take me? Please take me outside.
You know, open the
I
door.
can't stop shitting.
Oh, he was just in shock from his
He's
little
right.
raccoon booty hole burning. burning.
Oh.
Raccoon diarrhea. Can't
Out
stop
everything
shit.
he had. Can you
Everything.
imagine?
Didn't know you're an animal.
All the twigs and nuts that came out of car keys and fucking
Oh, everything.
baby
Apples.
pacifiers that came out of that.
Bottle caps.
You're describing everything you find in Central Park.
Cigarette butt.
Lottery tickets.
Lottery. 2 winners.
Metro cards. Just
2 winners. Metro card.
right. We can keep going with this. I like this bit. We can do this one.
Like a token from.
I like
I
this
still
one.
got a token in it.
A token.
A
What
subway
year is
token.
this? What year is this?
Little
New York
needed
City
some
humor. Little New York City humor for everyone. A token. What were some of the other stories in 2019? The impeachment is big, but nothing's going to happen, right?
Boeing. I don't know. Was that crash this year? That was.
The Boeing.
Two of them, yeah.
It's big again because they fired the CEO today.
Yep.
Well, because the rocket didn't work.
The rocket didn't work, man.
So you gotta
he was counting on that rocket too.
He had it.
Oh.
That was his Christmas bonus. So what was it? It was the rocket that was going to get us a step closer to getting, just regular people regular people at the space station. And then what? They fucked up the orbit.
They miscalculated and they didn't get the space station. They missed the space station, so they had to come back.
You can't miss the space station.
The math was off.
I think that's basic math for those guys. Right?
You would think so.
Right.
It was NASA, but it was NASSA.
They need the black chicks from the movie.
Yeah. I read an article today, but now I got to confess that I only read the first paragraph. Because an old program director told me years ago, if you read the first paragraph, you pretty much know the story. Yeah. Especially if you're on the radio when you have to read a lot of shit. Yeah. But I read an article, and I got to read the rest of it. But basically, they're like, we haven't discovered aliens on Earth because they checked us out maybe 1 billion years ago.
I said, no, thank you.
Right.
But think of that, because we think of time in our terms, but they're like, there's a possibility that they think there's life all over the Milky Way, all over the fucking Milky Way, right?
And other galaxies, actually.
And other galaxies. Oh God, it goes on forever. So I have no doubt in my mind that it's just teeming with life.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're like, well, one reason why we don't have a connection with the aliens because they checked us out so long ago that you can't even comprehend how long ago that they checked us out.
And they're
like, all right, we already checked that planet out. We want to check out everything else.
Right. They're going
in the universe.
And I think of Porno for Pyros, Perry Farrell.
We'll make great pets.
Exactly. We'll make great pets.
We'll make great pets.
That's about it.
I agree.
That's about it.
I'll be a good
They
pet,
showed
too.
up a millennia ago and went, okay, gerbil people, we'll get back to you.
I'm house broke. I'm a hump your leg, though. Alien, I'm a hump
Hey,
your leg.
you're going to have to pet me. And you're going to have to pet me.
You know what my go-to line is? I'll watch cable news and I'll just go, God, humans are stupid. Did you guys hear about the architect lady that died
hitting the head with the phone?
49th and 7th.
17 stories.
Yeah.
Dude, we walked that corner a million times when we were working at Sirius XM.
Yeah.
You know,
I used to get the ramen noodles outside the place she died.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing.
But yeah, and it's like
I'm laughing at your
the building knew that they got citations to get it fixed.
To fix their facade.
And then it's 1,300 more fucking violations like that in Manhattan alone.
Bro,
So it doesn't matter, and the building will just fall on the person's head.
I read another paragraph.
Hey, all right.
I read paragraphs.
Research. Damn.
I skim. But supposedly the scaffolding, most of it is just insurance.
What do you mean?
They get the scaffolding up.
Oh, just to
Keep shit from hitting people?
Exactly.
So
They
that
ain't gonna save
building,
nothing.
they're not actually working on the building. They get scaffolding that especially like in winter and stuff, a lot of buildings will get the
Just
scaffolding
so it
companies
doesn't get
for
fall.
extra protection
And then they pay
for
less
stuff
for the
that
insurance.
falls.
Oh.
Because if you
Oh,
think
yeah,
about
I
it,
didn't
all
know
the
that.
scaffolding we see in New York, if you really look up, they're not really.
There's no building.
They're not doing
I'm
anything.
like, they like blow drying.
But I read an article that it's something about. They know these buildings, these older ones especially, there's a good chance that a piece is going to fall off, and God forbid it hits some lady in the head like it did to this lady on 49th and 7th last week. That's bad. We had one right up here.
You saw the rock that hit the baby uptown. The baby was sitting with his grandfather.
No, that's the one I was going to talk about. No, not in the park.
Oh, where was it?
West End.
West End. That's right.
Literally
West End.
a couple
Yes,
blocks
West
from
End.
here.
Right.
There's an old age home. The grandma who's in the old age home is visiting with her grandkid. They're sitting on the bench outside the fucking
and
place.
And a brick fell off the fucking building.
And killed the kid.
Killed the kid. That was recent.
Dennis
I'm
Leary,
surprised that it don't happen more, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, Dennis Leary had that old bit about all the ways to die in New York.
Well, that's why I like living here.
That's definitely
Because it's no discrimination.
You like that?
Because it's no discrimination.
It's easy to die.
I was at the Spring Hotel last winter, money, and I was right in the lobby, and it's like that little small street. It's a small. They have like a little alleyway where their front door is.
Yeah.
Like right on the stairs. Then they have like 5-8 stairs out front. I'm standing in the lobby. It's all glass. I'm about to walk out, and then boom! Like the biggest piece of ice, like a sheet of ice, smashed on the stairs. Smashed. And then I was like, what the fuck? There was one person behind me. I was like, yo, we could have just got me killed.
2 seconds
I
later.
called the girl from the lobby. I'm like, come here. Yo, the ice is falling. She came over. And as soon as I was like, ice is, and then another one. Boom. And she was like, oh, shit, I got to close this door.
I gotta close
Yeah.
the door.
She just puts
Like,
an
they're gonna
orange
put
cone.
They put a cone up. That's what they did.
Y'all watch out.
This is gonna kill somebody next year. Because I know they ain't gonna do nothing about it.
Of course not.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that ice was sliding right off the.
That's
shake
why I
like this
killed
and
the
sliding
pigeons.
out.
Right.
And nigga, I thought it was like a boulder that hit outside.
Know why they don't do anything? They weigh the risk. How much money is it going to cost us to make sure no more
They gotta
ice
put an
falls?
awning over that door,
So
man.
we're not going to do anything until someone dies, and then they feel like they have to.
All right.
Right? How are you?
That's crazy.
Wait, happy Hanukkah.
Wait, what's happening?
Happy Hanukkah,
Yeah. Who are you?
Opie.
Nakia.
Oh, man, we doing a show right now.
Yeah, we're doing a show. You're pregnant? Oh, congratulations. What's happening?
Give me a couple dollars, Opie.
Want some food, yeah.
Oh, go in your white
man.
pants.
Look,
Nigga, get out some money.
Here's some money for some food.
Go in your white pockets. You allow this. You're going to give it a mic right away. Give it-
allow this?
Go ahead. Go in these white pockets, all three of you.
I got it right here.
All three of y'all.
What do you mean all three? What about you, Sherrod?
Nah. She's my roommate, so I'll see her later. There you go.
There you
Boom.
go. That's from all of us.
There you go. That's from all of us. That's from all of us.
That's all. That's from all of us.
I want to say Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Take
you.
care. Happy
All
holidays.
right.
All right.
You take
All
care.
right.
She's a go-getter, that one.
No
She's a
shoes.
go-getter. No, none?
The socks.
Oh, that's not good.
She's wearing
They look like good socks.
Well, that's why I gave her money, because I figured
Like you gave her money.
I do it via my white friend's pocket.
You just look at us like assholes.
Opie went right into it. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think is the biggest story in 2000?
It's instinct. It's like
Boy, I think the story is Opie's going to be fired from his podcast.
I want to interview everybody. Did you say? Why not? That's the
That's what's
good
going to
stuff.
happen.
That's the good stuff.
I don't even know how to explain what just happened to people listening, because there's no cameras. They don't know.
How has Trump changed your life?
He's the baby daddy.
Literally, we got to say it. It was a crackhead that just wandered off the street
Not
Yes,
just a crack
bro.
tip.
and saw us with microphones because we're right on the sidewalk here, basically.
Yeah.
in an
See, and I saw it
enclosure.
look in, but I was like, no, it's
Oh, you
coming
did.
in
Mid
there.
60s, no shoes, socks.
Yankees fan.
Yeah, obviously. That's true.
Yankees fan. She had the hat on.
No teeth.
That's right.
More clothes than teeth.
Yeah, she looked like if
I didn't like the white eyeshadow.
Cicely Tyson fell in Chernobyl.
Okay. He just.
I didn't like the eye.
Both of y'all
on
just did.
Chernobyl.
Just said the both. You both. All right. I'm done. I'm going home. I'm
Cicely
going
Tyson fell on
home.
Chernobyl.
This is literally where I'm going home.
But I'm thinking if you're looking for money, maybe you don't do the
Radioactive-
the white eyeshadow.
Radioactive Cicely Tyson. Sounder.
We made her.
The autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, if she was a crackhead.
Right.
Adley just walked in there, I think.
I got to learn that lesson
favorite
because
Cicely
you guys were, and I'm like, hey.
Yeah, you went straight in for it. That's what I'm
Fucking
saying.
horrible.
Right.
The minute me and him start backing up,
Yeah.
oh, you got your dick out. You went right in.
Go right in for
The
the
three of
story.
us are like, oh, shit.
He's
thought
a
we-
newsman.
I thought we'd get a Christmas song out of her. Home for the holiday. Oh my
She
God!
seemed like a nice lady.
I got hiccups. The other day, I was watching one of the cable news channels. They actually started doing like real news, and I got all uncomfortable.
Kind of throws you off. Yeah.
It throws me. Yeah.
It's not
Now, let
talking
me
about
ask you
fire
this.
in
All
Newark.
three channels turned it into Trump all the time.
Well, let me ask you this: if you're do you watch news at night, like, or
Yeah.
do you watch a specific channel, or do you watch all different channels?
I try to watch all three,
Right.
but I don't focus on Fox as much.
Right. I mean, just to kind of, it's one of those things, whether it's newspapers or television.
Right.
You should watch everything
I
and then
try.
kind of make your decision
But
off of it. Because if you watch one or the other, either way, it's absurd. It's
Well,
completely
there's no balance in
absurd.
any of it.
Right.
Well, I tell my wife, I'm like, all right, they're all supposedly smart, free-thinking people.
No.
How do they look
But-
at the? Hold on. How do they look at the exact same situation
different things.
so dramatically different?
Perspective.
Agenda.
What I learned in
Agenda.
2019.
Everybody's got agenda.
I didn't want to say this at the beginning of the year, but certainly by the end of the year now, I'm like, God, I mean, I lean left, which is weird because it would benefit me to lean more right. But as 2019 ends, I feel like they're all full of shit.
Yeah,
Both
they are.
fucking sides.
Yeah, for sure.
And it took me a while to realize the other side was full of shit too.
Yeah.
But they're all just full of shit.
Well, and I think now it's
And I
even-
hate that. Sorry.
No, go
sorry,
ahead, go
Judd,
ahead,
But you asked the question. I hate that they don't bring anyone on their cable channels to challenge each other.
Yes.
I hate that. It's like
They only have
they're
in-house
preaching
challengers.
to the, well,
Yeah.
they're preaching to
Right.
the choir.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
that
yeah,
old
yeah.
saying. You know, there's no pushback.
Yeah.
You know, you got Fox over there like rah rah rah, and no one's challenging them, and then you go to MSNBC rah rah rah.
Yeah.
And they,
Fox people should be on CNN, and CNN people
That would
should
be
go to Fox. They should
amazing.
swap it out all the time.
That
That's
would
why I
be
played all those
amazing.
channels. That's why I always appear on all those channels.
Right.
Because I don't want to be I don't want to belong
Yeah.
to none of y'all.
Right. And
Because
to hear
it's gross.
to
Yeah.
hear the same talking points over and over and
Yeah,
over.
that 24-hour
again.
news
Oh
cycle,
my
man. It's
God,
fucking
I
just like
hate
sports.
it.
You hear the same shit over and over.
Yeah.
We just got to,
I haven't seen Sherrod in a while, but you're always close to my heart because my wife's a big fan of Atlanta Housewives. And I know we mention it all the time, but
Those
it's
big
one,
body
of
parts.
it's one of my favorite things to mention in front of you because you get it.
I get it.
She
I know,
loves
it's
Atlanta
Nene's
Housewives.
last season, by the way.
Yeah.
I know that's got to take her back. 'cause-
Their parts are getting bigger.
Yeah, they got bigger parts.
And they
now with bigger parts.
and my daughter's becoming more aware now that she's 7, and
Yeah.
she talks about like, Mommy, why do they have butts on their chest? Their cleavage is out of control. My God, how do you leave the house like that? It's amazing.
Oh, they have butts on their chest.
That's what my daughter says. My daughter is trying to figure out the boob thing. Why do they have butts on their chest? They're just giant, fucking
Big
giant
body parts.
big, huge body parts.
Those some big heifers.
Oh, I love the Housewives. Actually, I'm a big fan of New Jersey Housewives.
Oh yeah,
Do you watch 90 Day Fiance?
of course.
Holy fuck, it's
I've
the
been watching
best.
it for years. Yamanika does her. God damn it. Yamanika does her podcast. Got a podcast, like a video show, YouTube show about watching it, and then we talk about it.
Did you see
yeah,
before, whatever it's called, before?
After.
No, before 90 Day
before the-
Fiance.
I'm watching them all.
It's the
Your
best.
wife got you onto that. The show is great.
Oh, I have
Then
no.
you got to go back on the seasons because you missed some of the gold.
Yeah, I have
Yes.
no problem admitting I loved
And
it.
then they got break-off shows, spin-offs
We
Right.
from the 90 Day Fiance.
we were back in the day on the old radio show. We were big fans when 90 Day Fiance first started, and then I tapped out for years, and
Right.
I only rediscovered
better.
it this year.
It's better now.
with the fucking big white
With the
blonde
blonde hair,
woman.
with
No,
the African dude?
The blonde woman with the
Yeah,
African
African
dude,
dude, yes.
and shoves cake in his face and
Yeah.
stuff,
I
and
saw
treats
it.
him like shit. And this, and
They
I
turned
tell-
his visa down, by the way. He's just got his visa turned down.
Oh,
He was
really?
crying. He was bawling in the car.
Best thing could have happened to him.
No, he really wants this girl.
And what
And
about
then one of his boys like this, she's a disgusting. He was like, why
Yeah.
did you say that? And then pushed the nigga
yeah,
drink on it.
yeah, his crew.
They ain't for that.
They ain't dealing with it. And
It's so good.
His name's Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
And we talk about it at our house, and it's like, but they are so desperate to get into America, they'll deal.
Yeah.
First of all, she's like 60, and she's like
60.
Trying to have a baby.
She's hinting that she has one egg left, and she might be able to have a baby.
A
And she's,
meemaw to the rest of those kids.
Right.
and she's trying to get
Got
her
6 kids in
daughter
there.
to carry the baby, and Michael just is like, he just sees America. He's like, I'll deal with all this shit because I,
think
want to go
Mike-
to
yeah,
America.
Michael don't know what he.
And what about the religious dude?
And then you saw when she met Michael's mother. Nigga. Lord have mercy. I was just cringing. Like what?
Because she, well, in their
And then the Dominican girl. It's so much good
no,
stuff.
in that culture, to finish that up, the
Yeah.
mom's like, you know, her son Michael, if he doesn't have kids, then he's
Means
useless.
something. Yeah.
In their culture, you're
Yeah.
useless if
Yeah.
you don't
And
become
she's
a
too old
father.
for it. That's
And-
why she's like, you an old woman.
Yeah.
The mother like, you older than me, bitch.
Do you watch 90 Day Fiance or any of those shows?
No.
And
It
then
is
the
the
dude from
best
Turkey.
trash TV by far.
By far. Then the guy from Turkey who families like this, you're not marrying that chick. No,
Yeah.
we don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
blurring their faces. They like, we hate America.
Right.
We don't just hate this bitch. We hate America.
Hate it all.
They're fucking ISIS. Why are you in our
Yeah.
home?
Ooh, I'm behind.
Why are you in our home?
It's
I'm way
so
behind.
good.
What about the religious guy with the young black girl that's sexy? The other African girl?
Oh.
Where he
Well,
had
that
to-
was the previous.
where he
season.
had to come up with
You
a
watch this?
Well, Lisa watched it, so I could drag into it. Yeah.
where he had to come up with a dowry for the
Oh, yes,
family, and it wasn't
enough.
enough.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough.
No.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And,
Like two
And
goats and a cow.
And she's folding her arms like, what the
and
fuck?
she was like, "You embarrass me.
Yeah.
You have to say more."
Yeah. Right.
You have to get Ma.
Meanwhile, he's in their little hut. It's like, what the fuck?
And then he's pissed off that he's got a girl that likes to party. Remember, she had too many drinks?
yes.
Yeah.
Who's the Dominican dude?
No, that's
same
the
dude,
African
same
girl.
dude, same
The
dude.
young African girl.
You know who I love? You saw the guy from Connecticut who has the little South American girl skinny. He had 2 kids, 2 chubby kids.
Yep.
No, that's another
Yep.
season.
I love him.
Help
Right.
him
And
out.
the kids, those kids are great.
Very progressive, with it kids.
Those kids are like
smarter than the parents.
smarter than the
perhaps.
parents.
Right.
Out of
right,
those kids, they
right.
just went off show.
Bro,
Right.
the show
Best show
after, before 90 days,
Yeah,
where
before the
they
90
do, where people, old cast members watch.
Yeah. They
It's
watched
the greatest thing ever. The
And they like this. What's wrong? Remember
the two black dudes?
Remember those?
The 2 black dudes that just like trash
I have
everybody.
no idea
Oh
what
yeah.
Oh, it's the best.
It's
Dude,
good stuff, Vic. It's
Dude.
good stuff.
when it comes to trash TV,
It's good
it
stuff.
is by far the best shit going.
It's train
And then
wreck
that black
shit. You
dude
just
who was the
can't
worst
help,
dude,
you know.
who was just giving money to that Ukrainian girl, and he was
Oh
still
my God,
believing.
wasn't that sad?
Come on,
God, dude.
OP.
Jesus, man, I felt
That
so.
was the sad.
No, I'm laughing
Even
now.
people, when it was rewatching it, it was like this. What do you think she's using you for money, dummy?
I'm laughing now, but
She ain't coming to Mexico, dude. Come on.
keep missing the
okay,
flight.
Cancun.
Cancun, yeah.
I'm laughing now, but I did shed a tear for that
I felt
guy.
bad for him.
This guy was getting
Every
catfished
episode.
terribly with this gorgeous
worst
Ukrainian
black dude. He
blonde
put black
that's
dudes back.
like she's sexy, she's in her mid-20s, and he's a
Gassing him.
frumpy black dude that has a shitty apartment.
He's
Right.
a frump.
What is he, a nail technician?
And everyone's
Or
like,
some
dude,
shit?
wait
I
the
think he
fuck
is.
He's a
up.
nail technician.
He's a nail technician.
He's a nail technician. Right.
Dude,
He's a
the
nail
last thing you would
technician.
think is a nail technician.
Right.
Trust me
Right.
on this.
And he's borrowing money from everyone and sending her money. And then she's like, yeah, I'll meet you in Cancun. And he brings like edible panties and a ring.
And she don't show
And she
up.
never shows. And then the people at the pool from
edible
the
panties.
from
Yeah,
the,
that whole white
from
family.
the Midwest are like, dude, you're being catfished. He's like, nah, man. She
Like
just
what?
missed her
No,
flight.
she'll be here tomorrow.
I think he got something mental going on with him.
Of course
Oh,
he
yeah.
does.
Like
Oh,
a
yeah.
scar that's so deep.
But don't they all on the show, dude? I think they all do. It's almost like
watch this
explain-
shit too, right,
Well,
Joe?
When
Lisa
you see
watches
the
it. and I
other
get
people,
caught
when
into
you
it.
see some of the couples watch that couple, you go like this. They don't see him as bad.
Right.
Because they go like this, okay, we ain't got it together, but we ain't this.
right. But they kind of did seem that way when they had
they
the
did,
show.
yeah,
Right.
no question about it.
Yeah.
What about the Connecticut twins? The
those-
middle-aged
the
Connecticut
Botox-
twins, kind of sexy.
Oh,
Yeah.
the two
And the
sisters?
one,
They just-
Darcy and State.
They just get drunk and cry.
she
They just get
cries
drunk
all
and
the
cry.
time.
That's all they
It's
do.
just good stuff.
Yeah.
It's just.
Vic, you gotta
My-
get
my-
I
out.
gotta get home and get caught
My
up.
favorite
No,
one was the
it's-
guy, I guess it was on a previous season, the little skinny dude who was with the Brazilian chick and he had to go to Brazil.
Yes.
But he got, I guess, convicted of like terrorism charges here because he tried to burn his ex-girlfriend's house
And they
down.
wouldn't let him go?
And they wouldn't let him into Brazil because it said he was a terrorist.
And he had to fly right back.
Right. And he had to get back. And you look at this guy, he's just a regular dude,
Nerdy.
skinny little nerdy guy, but he's got terrorism charges and he's in front of a Brazilian attorney. He's like, you ain't going to be able to stay, dude. It's not going to happen.
gotta go
You
back.
gotta
What
go
about
back.
the anal retentive one that went to Colombia with that sexy Colombian model with
And then
the
his
kid?
mother came down.
No.
To visit?
That's
the
the
one you talking
Oh,
about.
no. Then that's the
It was
fat
the
guy.
kid
Y'all
with
are
the
crazy.
The kid has
Yeah,
no.
we're nuts.
The kid has no shoulders, and she's like,
Yes.
he don't want to have sex.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the guy.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
No, he's
He has terrible
You
shoulders.
just
Awful
said he has
shoulders.
no
Terrible
shoulders.
shoulders, and he's
shoulders,
anal
man.
retentive, and everything has to be perfect to have sex with her. But everyone's like, she.
I
He's
just
gay,
snorted.
man. Is he?
I
That's
just
Well, on the
That's-
show,
that's the
she
one I'm talking
goes.
about, the
On the
skinny
show,
guy.
she's like, he's gay.
Yes.
Because he don't want to have sex with us, and everyone's like, yeah, who wouldn't want to have sex
He's
with you?
gay because I have eyes and I know what a gay dude looks like.
And he's like all about, no, it's got to be right. And she's like, she's basically thrown himself at
And
him.
she's hot.
And she's like an Instagram model from Colombia.
Yeah.
She's no joke.
Yeah.
There's no shoulders.
The show's good, man.
No
It's good, bad
shoulders.
TV.
Terrible
Vic,
shoulders.
trust
I
me on
hate
this.
terrible shoulders.
You'll run through
I
it.
trust you.
There's a
It's
dude.
just-
There's a reporter on MSNBC that has terrible shoulders.
And the law really made this show, by the way. That's the real producer
Thank you, but it's true.
of 90 Day
It's true.
Fiance is the federal law.
Yes.
That you have to be with them for 90 days.
You have to. Right.
The
That's
law,
it.
that's why it's so good of a show.
Right.
Because it's the law.
It's very compelling.
The
It
law
is.
made the show, Opie.
Yeah.
You have to be with them.
But that badass Southern bitch
It writes itself.
that goes to Africa to with Michael, and she gets in fights with everybody in Africa.
She goes
These-
hard down there.
Holy
They
shit!
just see this white rhino coming through destroying the village.
Again, we should close on that. Should totally close
I was gonna say maybe you should edit all of this part of it out right here.
We ain't editing shit. 90 days. I'm so excited that you guys like this show. We were obsessed
I
with
listened
it.
to 3 of them.
And then I forgot the name of the show after, where they're just hanging out in bed, like, mocking.
Right, all the
they
previous
rewatch
ones.
the episode and
Right.
just have the 2 black dudes that they have. The one guy has to be a comic. He's so fucking funny.
Those dudes go hard. I mean,
Yeah.
the show's just good show.
I was starting to get disappointed in trash TV, and then this thing
This
came along. Oh my!
This Flavor the Love Us right back into it, didn't it?
That was good.
It rocked the Love Us right back into it. nigga.
What about the young girl from Columbus, Ohio, that became a Muslim for that guy? And
That
he
girl, like 18?
Yeah.
She seems sincere, too, but she doesn't seem young and dumb.
She seems really nice. And
but
this,
U.S. is like this. He ain't coming.
and this guy's like, I just want to get to the fucking States.
I don't care if they give him 190 days. They ain't letting that nigga.
No, and she's going to maybe move to Syria because
Yeah.
she's still in love with the guy. And the mom's
Syria.
like, you ain't
Yeah, that's what
fucking
Judd
moving to
is,
Syria.
right. Damascus.
Remember she went to the lawyer, and the lawyer was like this. This ain't
No.
gonna happen.
And the mom was like, phew.
He's where? One of the 5 countries Trump say
Right.
he ain't going there.
Axis of evil.
So then they're deciding they maybe can move to Dubai or something, or move to Syria. And she gets married to the dude overseas in Beirut, I think. And the
Yeah.
mom came for the wedding, and she had to wear some goofy fucking religious.
She seems sincere,
outfit.
but she seems dumb. Like young and
Yeah,
dumb.
yeah, of course.
Like love, but dumb young.
Yeah.
But nothing like a grenade rolling into your reception.
Fuck a pinata. Got down a hand grenade coming in. Bang! Everybody grab candy.
Something old, something new, something
Right, borrow
grenade.
something blue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
We
That
should
just,
end on that.
that just made me really excited. All right, Vic, where are you going to be New Year's?
I'll be at the Comic Strip Live on
All right.
December 31st, Upper East Side, New York City. 2 shows.
Nice.
Indeed.
Come
Sure.
see. Aren't you on? Are you on?
No,
one
no,
of
I'm
those?
in Mohegan Sun, baby. Happy
Oh,
at Mohegan
nice.
Sun. The
For
Comics
New-
Roadhouse.
For New Year's?
Yeah, New Year's Eve.
Oh,
2
nice.
shows, December 31st. Yeah.
You see that stupid Pete Davidson around in the
Yeah, I saw
clubs?
Pete,
the
Pete,
fuck?
last week.
Tell him what the fuck for me.
Yeah, well.
I'm serious.
What?
We love him.
It did the radio show a lot. We
Right.
we bonded. We were close. And then when I got let go,
Yeah.
he was one of the first people that called me.
Right.
We were good. And then he fucking met that Ariana Grande, and the rest is history.
You ain't speak to him since Ariana, nigga?
Yeah, he's about to.
That's
Oh,
a long-
I haven't heard from him
That's
since
14
Ariana.
girls.
Yeah, there's Kate Beckinsale's behind that. That's a whole other. That's a
tell
whole
her-
other.
But he's been, he's been doing
But
the movie.
for-
He did the
for
movie.
me-
Yeah, he's working with Judd.
For
He's
me,
working
next
with
time you
Judd.
see him, go, what the fuck?
All right.
I've
He's
reached
working
out.
with Judd, right?
Yeah, they just
I,
finished.
I've
they
reached
worked
out
on
to
the
his
film.
10 fucking cell phones and not one message back.
Well, I guess
We were good too.
Yeah.
I think
Apparently
I didn't make the cut when Ariana Grande put you in the stratosphere of fame. I didn't make the cut.
You made the cut.
I didn't
man.
make the cut.
Right.
That's just Pete.
But that's
just
okay. I don't
Pete.
want to
That's
make
Yeah,
just
that
that's
Pete.
just
cut.
him.
I don't want to make that cut.
That's just Pete.
No, it's fine.
But Pete's, he still
Well,
loves
tell
you.
him what the fuck though.
I will.
For real, because I love the guy. Judd, what do you got?
Regarding work.
We're gonna wrap up, I guess.
Oh,
Wrap it up. I gotta have a
I said we're leaving.
Because Vic says so.
Oh,
No, we
because
don't
they said
have-
we're wrapping
I'm
up.
done.
I'm kidding. Well, no, we didn't. Trust me.
We've
did
done
great.
enough time. I
We
believe.
did great. We did great. I was just joking.
Comic strip. Got one thing at Gotham coming up, and like I said last time, I got a millennial that made my new website, JuddJones.com.
Well, that's it for 2019. We're all gonna Happy New Year. I love these guys for real. Old friends and a new friend here, Vic Henley, Sherrod Small, and of course Judd Jones, who's also a comic and really just crushed it on the last few episodes. So thank you,
Juddo.
Thanks, man.
guys. See you in 2020.
Happy New Year.
Happy
Love
New
you.
Year. 90-Day Fiance. God damn.
God, I got to research this.
That is funny, dude.
But you gotta love trash TV.
We're in that
No, I
shit.
don't
We're
even.
in
Yeah.
it.
I'm telling
I'm
you,
I
so
get
good.
locked in
Yeah,
on
not a
her,
Carl shirt.
and I'm just
If
like,
that's not a Carl shirt.
That's a Carl
That's a
shirt.
Carl shirt.
yeah. At least you got me this.
It's totally a Carl shirt.
And she didn't
If
even-
It was a Carl shirt.
At least I didn't even realize that it was a Carl type thing when she gave it to me. Oh, thanks, brother.
Fuck yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Are they?
CBD.
Yeah, that's California shit right
Yeah,
there.
that's nice.
Boo, 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 boo.
Opie Radio.
Boo, 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 boo.
Boom, 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 boom.
Boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo.
Rest in peace to Don Imus. It's a real bummer. He was a good dude, man. I never saw any of that racist shit. I saw like a a kind, gentle soul that when he could, he helped others. He knew how to be an asshole, don't get me wrong, but that's what made his show so damn good. And he raised $40 million for charity. Most news outlets not really mentioning that. They just want to focus on the nappy-headed hose bullshit. And the media, I love that they take no responsibility in that. Because when a show does something really outrageous that really upsets people, like in this case, it was the Rutgers women's basketball team, and I understand why they would be upset, their family and friends, but it's a tough position to be in when you're on the radio and you're trying to make people laugh and entertain them, and sometimes you're going to fall short, even though I don't think he fell short. I feel like he was going for a joke, but I do understand why that would piss off a whole bunch of people, and it made a lot of people upset. But then what the media does is they play the damn clip over and over and over again, and they expose it to so many other people that would have never heard that outrageous attempt at a joke. And they take no responsibility in that. They're like, oh my God, wait till we tell you what Imus did. And then they play it over and over again. And then instead of, I don't know, a few 100,000 people hearing it, now we're talking millions upon millions. And, you know, the media gets a pass on that, which amazes me. According to Stern and Rob, and Imus has always been a racist. Okay, whatever, dude. Fucking stupid Stern. He's gonna be all high and mighty and act like he's a good guy and that Imus was a racist. Stern is not even close to a good guy. He's an egotistical monster. He's probably one of the most insecure people that has ever done radio. Stern is the pot calling the kettle. Yeah, he probably should keep his fucking mouth shut. A guy close to a billionaire, and he's still incredibly unhappy and insecure. What's up, Hacks Against Hacks? Yeah, I think I'm going to do this YouTube Live. I think this is something that could work. I like it. I thought you and Stern were friends. You used to shout good morning to him through the glass door. Not through the glass door. It ended up with me having to hang out behind a glass door because he hated the fact that I was actually trying to move on from all that horse shit, and and I would wish him a good morning in the hallway, and he couldn't take that, and then went to the bosses behind my back. It's how Howard does things, behind everyone's back, behind closed doors, and does all his nonsense. He literally couldn't handle that I was saying good morning. And that was my attempt at going, you know what, dude? Yeah, I've said some things. You said some things. Maybe we could be at least cordial. And he did not like that at all. And then he pretty much banned me from doing my job until he got into his area. Then I was allowed to go in and do my job. That's when I knew the writing was on the wall. But whatever. We've talked about all this stuff before. Have I ever had a conversation with Howard? No, I have not. No, I have not. The most I did was say good morning to him a couple times, and he couldn't handle that. He couldn't handle a good morning. He's close to a billionaire. He couldn't handle a good morning. Oh my God, what the fuck's wrong with him? And then there was the time that he was in his limo crying like a little bitch. He was doing a press conference for that TV show he tried that was a complete and utter bomb. And me and Anthony, we had some time to kill because we came in early and we were doing an afternoon drive. And so we went down to the Plaza Hotel and we were in the audience. And everyone was wondering why the fuck Howard wasn't coming in and why the press conference was being delayed. And then boy Gary came up to us and other people, and they were scared. They're like, you guys aren't going to do anything, are you? And we were working for the same company at the time. And I said, no, man. I was completely honest. I said, no, man, we're just here to check it out, which we were. And next thing you know, one of my bosses comes running into the area at the Plaza Hotel, all sweaty and really freaked out and nervous. That would be Jeremy Coleman, who now works for Howard Stern. And he's like, get the fuck out of here. And he pretty much yanks us out of there. And then how the story was told to us when we were getting yelled at was that Howard was in his limo calling up my GM at the time, Ken Stevens, yelling and screaming at him because we were at his press conference, and he refused to go in until we were removed.
That's the type of person Howard is. He's just a lovely guy. And the funny thing is, we weren't even going to do anything. We literally weren't. We're like, you know what? We're working for the same company. Let's show some support, maybe a little respect. We even sat in the back row. And then, maybe I was thinking, afterwards we would go over and say hi, maybe shake his hand. I think he was convinced we were going to, disrupt the press conference. The big, tough Howard Stern that could handle anything. He was scared of me and Anthony that we were going to disrupt the thing. And then just threw a huge hissy fit. Oh, God. I remember that. And then I'm looking at Ken Stevens. I'm like, Ken, why are we in trouble? We're in trouble for something we weren't even going to do. We weren't going to do anything. But then the guy, the people above, Mel got involved and stuff. And I'm like, why? And I remember saying, why are we in trouble for something we weren't even going to do? The one thing a lot of people know is when Howard throws a hissy fit, everyone gets nervous and panics. Understandably so, if you want the honesty, because, he makes companies a shitload of money. So if he's going to throw a little baby tantrum, they're going to listen because, he brought in so much fucking money. So that's how that goes. But to get in trouble for something that we weren't going to do is just amazing. It was totally innocent. Yeah, it was. I swear to you, it was. We were sitting in the back. We were getting cold cuts. I remember we were making ourselves a plate of food because it was around lunchtime and we were going to go on the radio at 3. And I forgot all the players, but someone came over and goes, "Hey, guys, I'm a huge fan of your show, but I got to know, you guys aren't going to do anything, are you? Because, my job would be in jeopardy." I'm like, "God, no, man. We just want to hang out and eat some food." And then that guy walked away and said, "Okay." But then, we saw people just kind of talking to themselves and looking at us. And then it was really, really, really awkward. And then, we got yanked out of there. We walked right by the limo, by the way. He was in there. So he got a very good look of us being taken out of the Plaza Hotel because we were going to interrupt his press conference. Yeah. You guys were unpredictable back then. I would have been scared. Should have spit on the limo? Yeah, we were unpredictable. That was the beauty of us, though. Sometimes we had people convinced we were going to do some crazy ass shit, and some of those times we had nothing planned and no intention of doing anything, like that press conference. So, but Howard is just the worst. Who can't handle a good morning in the hallway? And then if he thinks I got the best of him over the years, he took his dumb shots. He was really excited at the possibility of, skull fucking my dead dad's skull. Fucking creep. And I explained that to the bosses because they would go, "Yo, why do you take so many shots at Howard when you can? It's not smart for business." And I'm like, "Yeah, business is one thing, but family is way more important." And I explained that to the bosses at the time that, that's something I can't let go. Even though I was sort of trying to with the whole good morning in the hallway. And the bosses understood, but they were in a bad spot because, Howard was bringing in so much money for Sirius XM. But I told him, like, look, I love working here, but I also am not going to take his bullshit. And I even asked them, what would you do, if he said something like that about your dad? And they're like, yeah, man, that's a tough one. We understand. We're on your side. We get it. I'm like, all right, thank you. But in the end, Howard called in a favor, and I was shown the door. Old Opie Bag of Sunsets, Michael Boyd. Bro, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I love sunsets. I love sunsets. I think it brings me back to being a kid. Because the happy place for me was on a beach, my grandma's beach house in Wading River. And, just enjoying the moment when that sun would go down and you got your family around you and your relatives, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your grandma. I don't know, it just brings me incredible peace. So I share that with you. What do you do to live in the moment and have peace? Bro, the Uncle Paul and the chip shit it's just done, man. You look like a fucking fool reciting that garbage. That stuff was okay in small doses. And then, Jimmy had to obsess and make it everything in his career. I kind of find it very sad at this point. You could go tis all you want, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You look like a fool. Do people still listen to Jim and Sam? I don't know. I can tell you this: there was somebody. He'll remain nameless for now, but there was somebody that said the comics are all talking. They said, there was a time you went on Opie and Anthony, and your Twitter would spin, and you would sell all sorts of tickets for your comedy shows. And the word on the street is that that's long gone now. That they don't get the same buzz. And this guy's in with a lot of comics. Let's just put it that way. And that's what he told me. It's just not the same. You have a good New Year, Frank Cooper. All right, man. I just wanted to check in and try out this YouTube Live. I usually do Facebook Live in the morning on my Facebook page, and we usually play just an older episode of the podcast and hang out in the chat room. Got a really good crew, but I think I'm going to start doing some of the YouTube Live as well. Peace out to you, Sarah. Sarah from Buffalo. So she's been supporting me for years. It did not go unnoticed. A lot more live streaming in 2020. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. 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 Talk to you soon.